I am Louise Palanker, your captivating host. We are here with, I'm also lovely. I forgot to mention that part. It's pretty important, although it's kind of self-evident. Here with a panel of wise and wonderful teens, we are Our Place Out Loud, here to answer all teen-related issues, questions, and points of order. We've got Jake in the studio. We've got Sam, Aaron, Nikki, Montana, and Andre.
Now they have names.
Give yourselves a round of, oh, that looks really sweet. We've got GoPro cameras, and we are on YouTube broadcast. We are what the future looks like. So screen cap this, title it Future, and post it on your Instagrams. That's how the kids are rolling. I wanted to get to what's going on in the news. And I actually, before the show, when I was lining up the rundown for the show, too much headroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
No one needs to see that much at the top of my head. Sorry.
Or not.
So I typed the words, and you can all try this on a given Tuesday. It's fun. Teen news. Yeah. And this is what I came up with. There's a kid named Jose Garcia. Do you guys know him? Does he go to your school? Well, this kid is groundbreaking. He has launched an Instagram campaign for boys. He's 15 years old, and he thinks that boys should carry around tampons and pads so that girls don't have to just whisper to each other, hey, I need supplies. They can also say, hey, Andre, I need supplies. And Andre would whip out a tampon. So how do you guys feel about Jose's... it would have been... If Nico had been here, he would have just had a tampon. Aaron, your thoughts about Jose's campaign?
So I think that the most important part about what he's doing, and he actually talked about this, is he's trying to normalize this, right? Like he's trying to make it okay for anyone to talk about this at any time, kind of, right? Because this is just a natural thing that happens.
Once a month, we leak blood.
So why should it be a big deal? Yeah. It shouldn't be. Right. And he's trying. That's his main point, right? Like, and obviously, if he can help the girl out, obviously that's good.
Yeah,
but
this is like the smoothest chick talk ever. This guy has game. Go ahead, Sam.
Continue what you're saying.
No, I mean, it's like, that's adorable because he's like, all right, let's see. If I am... He probably saw two girls whispering to each other, huddling up like we do. And he was like, if I were, I could be the supplier, and I could have like mini pads.
Like
that's
a trench coat.
That's
like
my entry drug is like,
no.
I got the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Ladies.
His point on Instagram,
right?
He didn't ask for girls to follow his post. He asked for guys to follow his post because he wants guys to do this. And if girls like it, he's like, well, that's great. I like the sport, and if we can spread this out farther, that's good.
Smooth.
But he's trying to get the guys. That's his main point.
I got wings. You want wings? I got wings. Let's go, ladies.
No, I think that it's demeaning to his cause if you're just calling him out and saying that it's just to get girls. It's not to get girls. It's to help, trying to
Andre?
make relations more.
I'm not allowed to tease Jose. Is that the new deal, Andre?
No. Well, as long as he's not hurt by it, I don't see anything wrong with it. But usually that's what's on teenage boys' mind.
Of
but
course.
if you're open to
Tampons?
that, and if he's actually doing it to help the cause and normalize, the idea of menstruation, which is like a natural biological thing.
It's menstruation.
Menstruation.
I like the way Andre said it.
Menstruation.
Andre gave it more syllables, which it deserves.
Yeah.
No,
It sounds like a ministry of some sort. You gotta go to get stamps on it.
Where are you going to college? I'm going to UV of Administration.
UV?
I'm getting my...
Why would we go to Virginia?
Oh.
I'm kidding.
All right, Montana, your thoughts.
No, this seems awesome.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, I personally, as a girl, this wouldn't be like my first reaction to do that, but if he's trying to make it more normal, I don't see anything wrong with it. I foresee a lot of guys making fun of him, but I feel like you need to get past some of that to make it a thing that we do now.
I think if anyone's going to make fun of him, he's going to say, look, I've already been in this many blogs, and girls are already coming up to me and saying, we think you're awesome, so go make fun of that. I think he's awesome. This kid is smart, he's creative, and he's kind of a cutting-edge person, and I expect big things from Jose, because it's shocking that no one ever thought of this before. Sam?
Yeah, I think it's really awesome because there's kind of a bit of a taboo with tampons and pads and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm totally cool with it. My friends kind of make me hide it when I like whip it out and have to go to the bathroom. They're like, you need to like put that in a pocket. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a thing. And like they know it happens. But so I think it's really cool. I feel like he might be a Boy Scout, and if not, he should be, because always prepared. Like that's awesome. Just don't have a fanny pack. That's not cool. And it's really encouraging guys to, you know, be there, just like how I've been training my younger brother since birth how to sit through chick flicks. And so yeah, I think this is really awesome.
And I've spoken before about how when girls are worried about getting their period and what if anybody finds out, blah blah blah, you know, and I've spoken before about what I call the secret society of sisters, which is like you ask any female in a hushed tone and just say, I need supplies, and everyone will have your back. You could be passing some lady on the street and say, I need supplies, and she will have your back, because we get each other. And to include guys in this had never occurred to me. That's why I'm so impressed. Aaron.
Right. So, how did expect you to actually come back to me? So essentially, what is really important to remember is that like this is a big deal because this is an internet campaign, right? This is not some local thing. This could go global,
Right.
which is where it's actually most needed, because there are still cultures around the world, and he actually talks about this as well, where like this is still a really like it may not be talked about here, but it's extremely taboo in some cultures, and like people are shamed for it, and like not just like sometimes you have to stay home. Sometimes like you're not even given like clothes and blankets and stuff in like the harsh winters and stuff, just because they don't want things to get contaminated, and like they associate it, like it's weird. Even places like in Korea, like there's lots of shame associated with it. and
Even
it's-
places like Brooklyn. Have you read how Orthodox Jews treat menstruation?
No.
No.
It's appalling.
Why?
Shall
is
I go
it?
there?
Yeah.
you need to.
Okay, so I read this book called Unorthodox about this girl. It's a really an amazing autobiography by a very, very young girl who's only about 24 or 25 years old, and she broke out of what I consider to be a cult. I'm sorry. I'm Jewish, but there can be extreme versions of every religion, and I'm not a big fan of the extreme version of my religion. And I said it, so there it is. So the girls have to, their husbands are not permitted to touch them while they are menstruating. They must wipe themselves once or twice a day and give the evidence to the rabbi and have him determine that the girl is clean enough to be touched. She must then go to a ritual communal bath and be bathed by some lady. And girls have picked up all kinds of diseases bathing in the same religious bath water,
Yeah.
so that she's clean enough for her husband to touch, and he's not permitted to touch her while there's any trace of anything on the strip of paper.
What?
I can't think of anything more humiliating, can you?
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Right.
And it's happening right here in this country.
Right. And
yeah.
and like it gets worse from there. Essentially,
Right.
And
is
that
my
also
point.
seems like it would be like just like from where I am, it's not like a big deal, except for like the excruciating pain. But like that plus not being able to like function as a human for a fourth of every month sucks.
Or for the husband to not
Yeah.
be able to engage in sexual
Well,
activity.
Not even just that,
in
like,
that
wait,
state,
is
who
he-
really wants to do anything like that? I'm just saying.
You're just like, ugh.
But like, is it like touch her, like have sex with her, or
You're
touch
not
her
allowed
as
to
in
touch.
like?
It's really
No touch.
What
unfortunate
if
how this.
she needs
No
to give
touching.
him a
She's
piece of
unclean.
toast or something?
Unclean, no
That's-
touching.
It's unfortunate
ridiculous.
that this
No
still
hugging.
exists. I mean, Hasidic Jews, they're very, very traditional, and there's a lot of shame actually in it, which is why I prefer being a Reformed Jew and not Hasidic and Orthodox, because it's just, it's very repressive is the correct word.
Yeah.
Yes, to everything about that's normal about the human body and thinking things in general, and it's really upsetting that it's still like this.
So the sects that are so severe, they're run by a charismatic rabbi figure who is the descendant of some town in Europe that was wiped out by the Holocaust, and they believe that it's their appointed duty to recreate all the people, or to reproduce all the people that were wiped out by the Holocaust, and which is a wonderful thought. But they do it in this kind of ritualistic way where the rabbi is godlike, and it's not dissimilar to other cults where you're getting all of your rules of living from one person who
Right.
suddenly decides, Oh, because the women have to like basically shave their heads and
yep.
wear wigs because
Once
hair
they
is
get married.
hair is too sexy for other men to be looking at.
Yes, and how like women are still
Wait,
separated
what?
in like the synagogues and can't get bat mitzvahed and blah 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 blah.
All right, we're gonna move
Wait,
on to another.
Not to
subject.
say that all Hasidic Jews are like that though. Let's just put that.
Oh
out
no,
there.
no, no! It's certain sects. It's
Not
just,
even all
it's
Orthodox,
just-
yeah.
I only read about this one sect, which is called Satmar, and I recommend the book. It was written by Deborah Feldman, and I recommend the book. Very, very interesting. Anonymous writes, "Hello, my problem is my parents found out I'm getting drunk at parties, and this has caused me so many problems. We argued, we fought, we hurt each other, and this is not what I want. I am 17. I only drink at parties because that's what all of my age do, and it is really okay for us, but not for my parents. I understand they're worried, but honestly, there is nothing to worry about. I can control myself. I don't drink till I die. What can I do to convince them that I'm not drinking anymore so they can leave me alone? Because I really can't stand this. It's getting annoying. They don't understand. They are so strict about everything. I'm not even allowed to make sleepovers at my friends anymore, and I'm 17, not 2. Damn. Aaron.
So 3 things. 1, the problem isn't that your parents found out. The problem is that you're doing this thing, and the repercussions were always going to be there. It's just a matter of time, and that time has come. 2, you said you're not going to drink yourself to death, whatever. It's controlled drinking, but it's not because you're getting drunk. If it's controlled drinking, then like maybe get a little bit of buzz, and then you're done, right? There's a difference. If you're getting drunk at parties, that's not really responsible drinking. And then the third thing is you're talking about how you're not 2, you're 17, you should have more things like more responsibilities, more freedoms, but like you have not lived up to their expectations of a 17-year-old like explicitly because you're doing these things and then thinking that the problem is that you were found out, right? That is not what a mature person does when they get caught doing something. They say, you know what? That's not something I should have been doing. The problem isn't that you found out. The problem is that I did it, and I'm sorry, and I'm going to make it up to you. What you're doing is blaming them for the problem you created. Also, on a side note, drinking before kind of the age of around 25-ish is not necessarily bad, but like your brain is still developing, and that can totally affect the development. Obviously, the younger you are, the more that's going to affect you. But really, until around 25, your brain is still in that more delicate state, and that will potentially affect you. So just I'm putting that out there too.
Very well said. Aaron, Sam, you had something?
It's also illegal. You're
Yeah.
not 21, and you're saying that you're not too. But I'm just saying, getting drunk that's not responsible at all. Like Aaron said, if you are, just be safe.
So
Don't drive, and don't get beep faced.
2-year-olds don't get drunk.
Well, there was
So in
this
a lot
time
of ways, they're
at
more
a-
mature.
There was this time at a bar mitzvah where my cousin accidentally drank all the Manischewitz, thinking it was grape juice,
my god.
and it wasn't.
Did he not like taste it?
Is there video?
No, unfortunately not.
Have you had Manischewitz?
I have not had.
And that is why you
Manischewitz.
asked that question. It
That's-
tastes just like grape juice.
Seriously,
It really
It's
does.
very sweet and very
never
gross.
had. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, Montana, your point.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, but not exactly to the extent. Just because my parents have a super liberal view of like alcohol and stuff, so they know like if I'm gonna drink or something, they like try to teach me like this is how much you drink for blah 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 blah. And I personally think that's how parents should deal with it. Obviously, if your parents don't deal with it like that, that's not like it. They don't have to do it how everybody does it. But I think you need to talk to your parents about like what specifically you're doing, because overall your parents just want you to be safe. That's parents' biggest worry about alcohol. Again, don't get too drunk. Obviously, do not drink till you die, but you won't know if you do. So like, don't make that argument. You don't know if you're gonna black out. It just kind of
Happens.
but don't blame it on them. Just try to like work it out, and don't, when you try to talk it out with them, don't come off offensive like, God, this is your fault. Just say what you feel about alcohol and how you think it's not like morally wrong.
Andre.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment on the necessity of drinking. Like, you were saying that all your friends are doing it, so like you think I'm inferring here that it justifies the act of drinking. Like, I don't know, I don't really feel fulfilled I don't feel fulfilled like after I drink, really. So I don't think it's really that integral to my life that I need to do it. Like I don't need to participate in parties or whatever. There's like a lot of things outside of that, but even if you want to do it, like again, don't blame it on your parents, and like yeah, you don't really need to do it anyway.
Nikki.
Yeah, the problem I have with it, or one of the problems I have with it, is that he says, I only drink at parties because that's what all my friends do, and it's really okay for us. That's not if you're going to drink, that's not the reason why you do it, right? I mean, yeah, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, you know, but that's certainly not the reason why to drink, right? I can't come up with a reason, but that's certainly not one of those reasons.
No, we can eliminate that as being a plausible reason. Like,
Yeah.
well, everyone, because, like, you know, since the dawn of time, parents have been saying, well, if all your friends jumped off a cliff, would you be doing that
Yeah.
too? Oh,
Well,
that's a new one, Dad. Jake?
Let's see if my camera works. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of back up what Montana said earlier about how safety is their number one concern. Like there are parties where like it's at someone's house and like no one's there, but then there are parties where it's at someone's house and like the mom is just kind of home. And while that sounds incredibly awkward, like there's so much less danger because like kids, when someone has a medical problem, don't always like contact someone of like authority or like call an ambulance, right? And I know that I've had a relative who like passed out and they just kind of like drive you home and just throw you like on your lawn. It's pretty awful.
That's the thing.
And so like there are those environments where I feel like it's much safer and the parent is choosing to make this kind of really awkward decision for the safety of their own child. And I do feel that like that's the more responsible decision is to if you're going to drink in an environment where everything is controlled and safe, and that may include being like monitored.
yeah, because Uber's not going to help you out.
Yeah, exactly. Uber is not reliable.
Won't put you on the lawn.
But yeah, again, while that's one aspect of safety, also your brain, like we still today don't really understand most of what it does, and like just how, you know, we condemn cigarettes in the past, and then we kind of still condemn drinking, but it totally still happens. I feel like we're going to see a lot of drugs and alcohol and their effects on brain on the brain in the future. And Sam wanted to say a thing.
He just looks up and I'm the like person he sees. Yeah, one of the things we were talking about safety and stuff, and your parents, I think that they're upset because you're being irresponsible with it. I know that my parents as well have like a kind of like liberal-ish view, aside from Manischewitz, view on drinking, and they gave me all the information about like drugs and alcohol, and their hope is that you have a good enough head on your shoulders that you'll do the right thing and that you'll just be safe, because that's their biggest concern. So, and I think they're just disappointed. Maybe I don't know if they've had the talk with you, but the biggest thing is that you're being irresponsible about it. So there's no reason for you to be upset with them or blame anyone else, because you're too young to make the decision to get beep-faced like this with a bunch of other people just because they're doing it. So
Yeah, and I just want to make the point that, you know, Aaron's was really clear at the beginning with establishing that you are on completely different pages just by nature of the question, which is you were saying, how can I convince my parents that I'm no longer drinking? You're asking us, how can I lie to my parents and get them to leave me alone so I can go off and drink with my friends? Well, the only thing that is more immature than a brain below the age of 25 is a drunk brain below the age of 25. And so the fact that while sober, you make the decision to drink tells us that while drunk, you will make even worse decisions. And people wind up dead. They wind up maiming others for life and having to live with that. They wind up raped. They wind up in really, really bad places. And before any of that happens, you need to acknowledge that 17-year-olds drinking is a really bad idea. And until you get to that point, we can't help you. Aaron.
So I also just want to say, like, do people drink before they're 21? Totally. That is a very common thing. That's not like a weird thing. And I'm just going to say that straight up. Like, it's not something to be surprised about. It's not something that's not going to happen. Most people are going to do it before they're 21.
She uses the word drunk.
Right,
That's
exactly.
what-
And that is what I'm about to say. Where
Yeah.
do people drink before they're 21? Totally. I mean, like, I also come from a very liberal family for the most part. And I was never told to not drink, but I was told to, like, appreciate kind of the power of alcohol, right? Like there's a lot to it. It's nuanced. It's complicated. That doesn't and that doesn't mean that and that doesn't mean and that doesn't mean that it's like
That's his superpower.
and that doesn't mean that it's like all bad. Doesn't mean that it's good. It just means that you need to understand it, right? And if you are drinking to get drunk, you don't understand it.
And respect it.
Exactly.
That it can take away your power. It's that powerful. Montana.
The other thing is, I mean, I think we also need to realize that like people under the age of like 21 do drink to get drunk sometimes. Like.
What?
Oh, you made a face. You're
No,
like, no.
it's like, it's like it's stupid.
Sam's a good girl.
It's
good.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it happens sometimes, and not that that's like you ever make good decisions about that, but just when if you're in a situation like that and you feel like you need to or you want to, don't do shots. Never do shots. Never do more than one shot because you will be on your butt, just on the ground. Don't do them. Just stick to lighter alcohols, because not lighter in color, lighter like in if you're gonna be drinking, like have like Manischewitz. I've never had Manischewitz. Have like one beer or something and then just see how you feel, because everybody is different. There are certain factors that completely affect your tolerance, and you don't want to not know how much you can drink and then not know what happened to you later.
Exactly. I can't imagine anything more scary than waking up and not having any idea why your clothes are on backwards. I don't get it. I mean, I'm not a good one to talk because I never went through this phase where I wanted to get drunk, and so I understand peer pressure, and she's certainly talking about peer pressure, but I also worry that she's talking about the early stages of alcoholism because she's so adamantly defending her right to be able to drink. Sam.
Yeah, I agree with you. What you just said.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember what I was going to say. Okay, so drinking to get drunk, very stupid. Being drunk is not that great. Although I've never been because I have really high alcohol tolerance, although I didn't say anything about that. But as far as I've heard, being drunk is not fun. It's just like you're in a weird state and you can't, so I don't know why it's fun. And people say they just do it, they drink to get drunk, and nobody likes the taste of alcohol. They just like how they feel.
That's not true.
Some people say that. I don't
believe it
agree.
either.
But
alcohol tastes nasty. You put it on wounds. It's not. It's not good stuff.
But so it can taste good sometimes. But the effect, the being drunk, I don't know what's appealing about that from what I've heard.
All right,
so.
Aaron, make a final point. We're gonna move on to the next question.
So I would just say, like, from my own personal experience, I have been like really drunk twice in my life. Once was to understand how much is too much, and so I would never do it again. And then the other time, which of course came after that, was just me not paying attention, right? Which is part of the whole respect, right? You need to be aware of what you're doing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a mistake I made, and I'm not going to make again.
Very
and
well said.
Count your drinks and measure them.
No more than two.
Never
in an
put your
evening.
drink down
Ever,
and get it again.
ever. No more than two in an evening, and don't drink until you're 21, 25, or 30. Anonymous writes, "Hey Wheezy, I have a bit of a situation. Is this the one we're not supposed to do? No. I didn't cross it off. Oh, okay.
You can't start it and then ask.
Is this?
No, because
I can start. I can stop at Hey
No.
Wheezy.
No, the one we can't do is at the top of the second page.
We are Our Place Out Loud. I am Louise Planker here with a panel of wise and wonderful team. Can't do that one. Hey
Give us
Wheezy.
a call at 888-531-7171, by the way.
And
Thanks,
also, we
Jake.
have an app that you should go download if you're not listening to it now.
Yes, and also you should, if you like podcasts and you're watching us, you should subscribe to us in the iTunes Store and give us a review, because it's great to listen to us while you're walking or jogging or driving. If
and
you're
other plugs.
all kinds of plugs, hit us with a review. We'd enjoy it. We'll send you some swag. Hey Wheezy, I have a bit of a situation and I'm a little unclear on how to handle it. I'm a freshman boy in high school, and so far I've been having a good year. I've made a lot of new friends, and one of my friends and I have become very close. On Friday, he told me he likes me, like, more than as a friend, and I didn't say anything because I don't like guys, and I had no idea what to say. I didn't see him the rest of the day because I only have first period with him, but I'm going to sit by him tomorrow, and I don't know what to do. Any advice, Aaron?
Tell him that you don't swing that way. Like, that's probably one of the easiest ways to go, and it's the truth, so how convenient. Like, like, because that way it's not on him at all, because it's not on him, right? That's just the way things are. Simple. No one really gets that hurt. All good.
Right. So assuming this kid's 14 or 15, you can see where that would hit you by surprise, and you would not want to come off as homophobic or mean, and you just wouldn't know, the words wouldn't pop into your head. But this may not be the last time that some guy says he has a crush on you, and it's just good to get your language down so that you can be respectful. Montana, your thoughts?
Yeah, I just feel the same way. I didn't really have much to add to that.
Yeah, you can really just make it as simple as, I'm so flattered. And it's no different than a girl telling you that she has a crush if you don't like that particular girl. It's really pretty similar, but this time you get to say,
you have a much better excuse.
yeah, you get to say, I'm into girls, and not have it affect your friendship from that point forward.
Because with girls, you just got to be like, I don't like you for you.
Yeah,
That's awful. No, but I think also just that, like, he's probably afraid how it's going to affect their friendship. And I don't think that's any different than with a straight relationship.
No, you know what? I mean, I can relate to this because I was in my 20s and I did not know what to say when a girl was making a pass at me. So, I mean, because this one girl was like she was like rubbing my back and like kind of, you could tell that she wanted me to tell her that I was a lesbian, and I just was like, I have a crush on him, and I just pointed to something. I mean, like, I did not know, right?
Oh, God.
But I think kids today are growing up in a culture where it's all available to you on the internet, like how to respond. And has it ever happened to anybody where a same-sex person, or if you're not, because I don't know who's gay or straight here, but has it ever happened where somebody of not the gender that you're attracted to said something to you, Sam?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to? That's all you want to say?
Oh. Okay. The big. I was straightforward with the girl. It was a little flattering, and just the biggest thing. I don't think a guy. Don't let it get to your head. Don't like make your ego inflate. Like, even guys like me. Like, but yeah.
But
just don't lead them on.
Yeah, don't lead them on. I mean, some people I feel like they like to be attractive to everybody, even if they have a gender preference, they just still kind of like flirt with all humans. And so
why not?
it doesn't sound like he's the type
Women
of guy.
are pretty. For me they're aesthetically pleasing but not sexually arousing. Women are beautiful. I just can't get into that
Right.
stitch.
Women are beautiful. All right. So hopefully we've given you some good language for that. Who wants to read the next question? I'm kind of sick of talking.
Sure, I'll go for it.
Go ahead.
This is from Ngayanskje. Either way, my boyfriend broke up with me because he doesn't want to hurt me. His parents like me, and I don't know anything about this.
They don't know anything about it.
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
No.
Oh, his parents like me and don't know anything about this. I gave him 1 month to think about his decision. Did I do this right? What should I do next?
Thoughts?
Well, I mean, I guess I read it. I'll talk first. So, I mean, I wonder what he means by doesn't want to hurt you. I know you don't know, but have you asked him straight up, what do you mean when you say this? And, like, what is his response? And as for giving him a month to think about this, it's not a bad idea, but, like, that's a month to work on this, right? It's not a month to just let him think, because he's probably not going to change his mind on his own. Like, dig deeper. Why is he saying this?
Well, don't you feel like he's just trying to let her down easy? Like when you break up with someone, you don't always tell them the reason. You don't always say, I fell in love with someone else. You don't always say, your breath is stinky. You just say, I don't want to hurt you. It's not you. It's me. You say stuff like that. And just because his parents doesn't know doesn't mean that he didn't really mean what he said. So just prolonging it for a month, like that's a month that you're not moving on and he's not moving on. Unless there's more that she's not saying, Andre.
From what he said, I'm thinking that he's afraid that his parents won't approve of the relationship, so he doesn't want to like dive in before they like.
But it says
No.
that his parents like her.
Oh,
His parents like her. She feels like since they don't know yet, that she can go another month and try to get him to change his mind, Nikki.
I think his parents are afraid he's afraid that his parents will say, "Why would you break up with her? She's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
great, right?"
That happens.
got it.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
That's the thing.
Oh yeah, I was forced to have dinner
you
all the
really
time
like
with my
her.
ex-boyfriend because the
Oh,
parents
that's
just like
so
yeah.
awkward.
no.
Oh
Yeah.
no! See, my parents, they hated my ex. They're so happy when he left.
See, I pick nice boys.
Ah.
I'm kidding.
All right.
Nice Jewish
I
buns.
suck.
No. No, you're cool. You're not my ex. I always refer to you on the podcast as the new one.
Yay.
Newer
No,
and better.
newer and better.
Yeah.
2.0. No, yeah, I think it kind of sounds like he either A, has something to work on, which is something me and Andre were talking about before when he said, like, that maybe the guy has, like, self-esteem issues and is like, I don't want to hurt you by being with you. So that could be a thing that he might just need to work on himself, and I don't know if you can help that at all, because a lot of the times it's just a them thing. Or two, he was just letting you down easy, and the give him a month thing isn't really going to work, because, to be honest, he has all of time to reverse this decision, sort of.
Let's go to the Skype call and get Mrs. Colfer on the line here. Let's see what she's got for show and tell today.
Oh, that hedgehog scared me last time.
Oh, really?
What?
The teeth. Are you afraid of them?
The teeth.
They're so cute. Oh my god, have you seen the baby one on,
No.
Yeah, that one.
Hello, Mrs. Colfer.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I am. What am I doing? I don't know.
Oh,
Oh.
no, not what.
New
how-
scenery.
Oh! Who made-
peacock?
Did you make that?
No, my mom did.
She's really good at art. That's great. No? it's you. All right.
Is it a
So
bird?
so you're a critic. That's okay. Can I see it again?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who would like to review
Oh,
the
it's a
art? Who
bird.
would like? It's a peacock. Who would like to review the art?
Bird.
Any-
I don't like birds.
You don't
in
like
general,
birds?
I'm sorry.
But it's such a pretty bird.
Childhood trauma.
You
Sorry.
hate
Oh,
peacocks,
no.
you hate birds.
Would you like to bring it to our place? Like,
All right.
It's pretty though.
Now, Mrs.
that's a male
so
peacock.
Jordan, does your mother think she's good at art?
You
Is
know
it a
those
paint by
things where you
numbers?
got the numbers and you paint the specific color with
Right.
the specific
Yeah.
number?
Paint by numbers, sure.
By numbers.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
I think she follows instructions beautifully.
As do I.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Keep watching the show. We love you. We expect something different for show and tell next week, okay?
Wait.
Oh, why? Do you have something you need to
He
tell
has
us?
opinions.
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna the question
Yes.
that was asked.
Yes.
It confused me.
Which one? The breakup one?
The one that was just asked.
Okay.
The one Aaron read.
We're confused too. Tell us how you're confused.
Okay. Well, I might go away for just a second, but I can talk.
Okay.
Okay, so the question was, my
no.
boyfriend broke up with me because he doesn't want to hurt me.
Right.
That's what confuses me.
Mm-hmm.
If he broke up with you, like, how did he do it? Why?
We don't know.
Yeah, it's a mystery to us. I even when I answered it in the app, I said I don't think I have enough information. Maybe he's going through a period where he needs to work on himself and get healthier, and maybe then a month would be warranted. But Sam, your thoughts?
Okay. He says he doesn't want to hurt you, but like he already broke up with you, so it's kind of already hurting
Pretty
you.
hurtful.
So
Thing to do.
yeah. So I think maybe he might be letting you off like easy. My only okay. Here's two things. Giving him a month. Ultimatums don't work with guys, especially if he's just trying to let you down easy.
Or girls.
Or girls. Yeah,
Yeah, my
ultimatums
ex-
just don't work
My ex gave me an
in
ultimatum.
in
and
relationships.
He was like, we can be together by Christmas or never. And I'm like,
exactly.
that's not how my, like,
Ul-
schedule works.
Ultimatums just don't work
Yeah.
in any relationship.
You don't know whether or not to shop for him.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know, that's very
Yeah.
true. Very inconsiderate of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other thing is because you're giving him this month and you're like using the parents like liking you as kind of an excuse. I fear that if he is letting you down easy, that this is making you appear desperate and clingy, and that's the worst thing you could do. So, best advice: cut the cord.
Move it on down the road. All right, thank you for Skyping in, Mrs. Colfer. We love you very much. You're our favorite. Who wants to read? Okay, honey. Who wants to read the letter from Anonymous that begins with, I got in a fight?
Oh, I'll take it.
All right, Andre.
Okay. I got in a fight with my friend, and we don't talk anymore. and my other friend sided with her and ditched me when I'm the one who introduced my friends to her. One of my friends, in quotes, not really, bad-mouthed me 24/7, and I try my best to act like I don't care. But it hurts, TBH, and I feel sad seeing them all hang out and act as if they never met me. What should I do? School is ending and all, but they always take group photos together and look as if they're having so much fun, and I feel so lonely. I mostly liked hanging out with them because they were real and actually understood me, but it doesn't make sense to go back to them if they're not even my real friends. I don't know what to do.
I feel like there's
Sad
not
face.
enough information about what the fight was over that happens at the beginning of the question. Sam?
Okay, if your thing is you're questioning whether or not, I mean, what you're missing is the friendship. There's a gap. There's space in your life that is like empty. It's not filled right now because you had this fight. If you badmouth me, act like okay, it hurts you, right? So it's communication. If you really want these people to be your friends, although I don't know what the fight was about, so I don't know how big of an issue it is. If you really want them to be your friends, then you need to talk. You need to work and communicate and figure everything out, hash everything out. Because if they were real and actually understood you, then it should be worth it. Your friendship just shouldn't be over like that over a fight. Don't know what it's about, so they don't know the gravity of the situation. But if you want to be friends, try and work it out. Because in this situation, I don't think they're going to make the first move.
Do you notice the point about how she feels like since she introduced them to each other that they don't have a right to ditch her? I feel like sometimes people like hold that over each other.
And that's bad.
Like, you guys wouldn't even know each other if it weren't for me, and then you go and ditch me. And then that can be a reason for people to feel like, oh, this person's high maintenance because they
And it's
want
like
credit
they
all
think
the
that
time.
They own me? What?
People meet for all different reasons, and nobody owns that.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Right. Like, totally what you're saying. Absolutely true. Like, oh, I introduced them. How come they're not siding with me? Well, let's go back. You got into a fight with a friend. Don't talk anymore. And that was the inciting incident, right? Like, all your other friends in this group heard about the fight, probably heard it from both your sides, and said, you know what? Move in this direction. See you later. So we don't know anything about the fight. You didn't tell us anything about the fight, but you know about the fight. So I'm saying to you, are there apologies to be made?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're not talking anymore. This is a loose end. Can you tie it up? Even if it doesn't wind up with you and her being friends, it might wind up with you getting some cred back with this group in general.
And we're not
Because-
saying that like they're right and you're wrong because it's the majority rules. It could be that the kid that you fought with has that sort of cult of personality where everyone sided with her because she's like the queen bee or whatever. They could all be wrong and you could still be right technically, but whatever it was about, if there's any place for you to apologize because you want these friends back, then say, hey, I see you as humans. I'm a human. I may have erred. Please help me understand how I can fix this because I'm willing to do some work here. Let me go to Montana real quick and then back to you, Aaron.
Yeah, I think you just need to weigh whether it's worth it or not to have these friends, and if you're going to have similar fights, and depending on how bad or like what the fight was about, if it was something that you think is going to repeat and it was something that you feel it wasn't like your fault, like not, I don't want to say like your fault because I mean everybody has a little bit of fault in everything, but like if it was something super unjustified that morally you're opposed to, like I feel like you shouldn't be friends with them. But if it was something where both you guys kind of messed up and it like if you look back at it after a while and you're like, you know what, I'm willing to move past this and be friends with them, then you really should make the first move, because most of the times when it's like a one person against a lot of people is harder to move. Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of, I guess, sum up what you guys are saying, like, you may not be in the right, you may not be in the wrong, but no matter what, is it worth this? And what can you do?
Right. School year's coming to end. You see all these guys in pictures. You feel like you're supposed to be in there with them. You like their ideologies. You like the way they think. You like the way they flow. If it weren't for this one fight, you'd still be with them. So if there's any apology warranted, then I would say go for it before the end of the school year, just to teach yourself that, I'm capable of apologizing, because that's a big lesson, a big hurdle. Before we move on to the next question, I want to remind you we are Our Place Out Loud. I am Louise Palanker. I'm here with Jake, Sam, Aaron, Nikki, Montana, and Andre. We're all here. Justin's on vacation, but we are Our Place Out Loud. You can give us a call on the old-fashioned telephone line at 888-531-7171. And if you have the Our Place app, you may have noticed that a new update just came out. And what we did in this update was we took all of the chat headquarters conversations and put them in one thread so that we could sort of centralize the conversation so that you could have an easier time making new friends, making them a friend, like by tapping on their profile and making them a friend and having them visit you, your chat room. We feel like the chat rooms are underutilized. They're kind of buried in the app, but we're going to make further updates that put them out more out front so that you can find your own chat room. I think it's cool that our app gives everyone their own chat room, and we'd like for that feature to be utilized, and so we're making some improvements, and we're going to make some design improvements. Anything more to say about that, Aaron, that came out in this update that I'm forgetting?
Yeah, I mean, like, just I know some of you might be jarred. Some of our older users might be jarred by this sudden change in chat, but like honestly, I was going to say this is how it used to be ages and ages ago, and we're doing this so that what you say gets seen by more people. We want you to be more visible, and that's our main goal. So hopefully, give it a day or two. I think that you'll enjoy it. I think that you'll like the feedback, and we ourselves, we want feedback from you guys. So
Yeah.
keep talking.
And it's easier for people to make announcements having to do with Our Place Academy or Our Place Village or features that you're trying to generate more activity inside the app and the World Play sections and stuff like that. You can just do a big shout out in main chat, I think is what we're calling it now, and make more friends that way. So the next question comes to us from Anonymous, and I'm going to have... Sam's chewing.
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. Sam is going to read this question while she eats, multitasker.
I'm a woman. I can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From Anonymous. Okay, my boyfriend was over and I decided to go through his phone and I found pornography in his Safari history. My heart felt like it was going to explode because he promised me he wasn't like other guys. Sure, I'm not done. And doesn't watch that stuff. But he obviously lied to me. I felt hurt and betrayed. I didn't know what to do or think. I wasn't sure what he was watching it for. In parentheses, for the girls, for the sex, or just for fantasy. Because he watched that. Does that mean he will cheat? Can I speak first? Or does Aaron
it's
want to
not.
John? I'm deeply in love with him.
Oh,
Let's
it's
go.
goes. Right, I'm
It's
deeply in love with
multi-layered.
this boy. But if he's some pornography geek, then this is Greek. Then
Socrates.
what on earth have I got myself into? And if he lied to me about that, then what else has he lied to me about? He apologized and said he wouldn't do it again. But whenever he comes over, I check his phone, and now I see he has deleted his history. I don't know what to do. Please help. Aaron wants to talk first.
Aaron's met. Was your hand up, Jake?
Okay.
All right.
So
Porn, fun.
basically, you are in the wrong on every count here. There is one thing he did that he should not have done, and only one thing. The rest is all you, and I'm not happy with you, Anonymous. So, lots of people watch porn. Like, a lot of people. I'd say most guys and a lot of girls watch porn.
Aaron is watching porn right now.
Yeah, just it's invisible Google Glass. So, wow. All right. So basically, lots and lots of people watch porn. It's a major industry for a reason. Lots of people watch it. Apparently it's the number one search thing for Google is porn, and that I don't know if it's true, but it's probably true. So
Probably.
it's wrong of you to tell anyone that they're not allowed to watch porn, right? Like, it's okay to feel that way, right? And it's even okay to have that be something that you require in a relationship, but you need to understand that if those are your terms and those are your rules, there are very few people out there who would be able to comply.
There's one priest, and he's gay.
Ooh. So that's just what I'm going to start off by saying. That is not cool for you to do.
I give advice to teens.
Wow. All right. So that's number one. Second, how dare you go through his phone without his permission and go through his Safari history? What are you doing?
Yeah, real
Okay,
talk.
there is a trust issue, and it's not regarding him doing something wrong. It's just something inherent with this relationship that you are not. By the way,
Yeah.
I just got to say this first off, that I am saying all this to her, and I'm not happy with her but this guy is actually a creep, and there's another question that she asked
He is
later on.
not a
No,
creep.
he
Yeah,
is.
why do you
No.
think he's a
She
creep?
asked another question later on that
He wants to keep a girlfriend. He does not know what he's allowed to do inside of a relationship.
no,
Wait, I'm missing information.
No.
Wait, why?
No, no.
Why he
Wait, wait,
creep?
no,
keep going,
no,
keep going.
no.
Why he be
For-
creep?
completely forgetting this conversation. Completely forgetting this conversation. She later on in the
Oh,
day
oh,
asked
okay.
a completely different question
Oh,
about him
okay.
that was totally bad, and she shouldn't be dating him, but not for this reason.
All right,
Is he
gotcha.
20?
In this specific situation, I'm very upset with her. In that situation, she should dump him.
Okay.
So he is
So
a bad
Aaron
person.
knows all about
Yes.
our users.
Right.
Yes.
So he is a bad person, and you should not date him. So definitely stick to our advice we gave you in the app. Don't date this person. But I'm telling everyone in general that people watch porn. That's okay. Most people watch porn. Most people don't cheat.
do
Oh,
Right.
It doesn't mean that they're going to cheat.
Right. There is no correlation
There's
between
no
people
correlation
watching porn
at
and
all.
people cheating. And porn is
no.
porn is only a problem and only an addiction if it interferes with daily life or actual relationships.
Like what Aaron's doing right now, watching it with his lenses.
If
Right.
if
If
it interferes with your daily life or
Yeah.
if it interferes with relational happiness
Right. If he's in the bathroom watching porn when he's supposed to be
with you or
watching
dinner or
Survivor with
something.
you,
right.
then-
So okay. So like I just got to tell you,
or a Hugh Grant movie,
Right,
whatever.
right. He has nothing to apologize for, and the reason that he is deleting his Safari history is because you have forced him to, right? You have put him in a position where it's either he like denies like a normal part of most people's lives to be with you, or he loses you and keeps being normal.
So, you know
So-
what? It sounds like Aaron's going to be campaigning on this platform, the pro porn platform. But what I want to say is, if you're a dude and you watch porn, it doesn't mean
Or a woman.
it doesn't
or-
mean
Yeah.
you can't have a girlfriend. You get
Yeah.
to watch
Yeah.
porn and have a girlfriend. It's not because I think young men might think, oh, I have to give up
no.
masturbating and porn.
No,
if I
but here's the
want.
thing. That's why even though I'm saying she should dump this guy, in general, what she's doing, everything she's doing is wrong. You cannot expect a dude, and you cannot expect your girlfriend to stop watching porn. Either direction, right? That's not how this works.
Right.
Relationships.
It's separate
right.
and distinct.
And by the
issues.
way, just one real quick thing, and then I'll pass it along.
yeah, there's other people on
Right.
the panel.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
and
I
they're
feel-
all watching
I
porn.
feel like
So
Ryan.
they've got stuff.
He's like the new Ryan.
I know. I know. I just said that. So, just one more very quick thing is that you should trust your partner, right? Enough where you can like be okay with them watching porn, which isn't even like remotely like true to life, right? And it's not something that pertains to something that they're doing behind your back. Even it's just like there should be
It's
an
just a-
understanding that it's okay. What you're doing is fine and normal.
It's just a primal urge, and porn is imagery that helps you
right.
exercise that. Nikki.
No, you're done. You're cut off.
Yeah, Aaron, you're
You
done.
have no.
I was gonna
Oh,
pass.
alright.
I was gonna pass it to someone like you.
You
can
have
pass it-
used all your words for today.
Question: Does
Yes.
it change anything that he lied about it?
Yes.
I think it's like Bill Clinton. Like, I don't think you have to tell the truth
I did not
about
have
something.
sexual
private.
relations with that one.
I don't think you have to tell the truth about something that private.
Well, but he lied.
Right.
No,
If he knew more about his rights, he could have said, "All boys watch porn. I love you. I'm not going to cheat on you.
Right.
But don't make me not like." But that comes with maturity and knowing what you're allowed to say to a girlfriend and not lose her.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, he lied, and yes, it changes something if he's 27. But I feel like if he's 15, I think I just broke the show with my foot. If he's 15, then he doesn't know that you get to watch porn throughout your whole life. I mean, there's men with Playboys, from the 50s that are your grandfather, and they
What?
probably, and that's a creepy thought, but it's a thing. Montana.
And with that mental image, yeah, I think the problem with it is that girls girls who don't watch porn don't understand that porn isn't like bad. It's not dirty. It doesn't mean he's
it
can get kind
demonic.
of dirty.
It depends
Okay,
what
well,
category it is.
That's true. Thanks, Andre.
We live in the porn capital of the world, so.
Is
Yeah.
this?
Yep.
Larry
Oh,
Flint's
really?
You're a
Studios
little too
is in
proud of
Beverly
that.
Hills.
That is true.
I am a little
Um,
too. That's why I'm moving.
Do you have T-shirts that say "Porn Capital"?
Yeah, to New York. It's not like that's better.
It's not the porn capital of the
All
world.
right, let's
It's
keep
the
moving.
porn,
About
okay, never mind.
We have bed bugs.
points.
Yeah, but girls don't understand that it's not like a sinful thing to do, and it doesn't mean he's cheating on you. It doesn't mean there's something ethically wrong with him. It's just a thing that guys do. It's a different thing if he
And
has a
girls.
porn addiction.
Just the
but you
fact
can
that
tell if he has a porn addiction because he'll be on his phone watching porn.
His hands
and
will be very, very soft.
people with porn addictions, people with
And
porn
crappy.
addictions, they spend all their money on porn. It's not. It's they really.
It's free now.
Nobody
Weezy.
spends money on porn.
No.
It's free now.
all right. Well, they.
All you have to do is
It
pay for the Wi-Fi
interferes
in the
with
hotel
their
room.
life and it
Torrents.
interferes with their relationships, and it's addictive behavior, and it could transfer into other addictions, and because they just have addictive personality disorders. Like food is an addiction too, but people need to eat, and so since people make porn and watch porn, it's a human thing. So how can it be bad?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It just is.
Although, okay, I do kind of
I
disagree
feel
with
like
the
they're
fact.
laughing at me, not with me. What? Huh? There's probably porn being made on this street right now.
Wait,
Okay,
oh,
No,
I do live-
We're
yeah.
laughing. Aaron and I are not allowed to use the mic for the rest of the show because he's talked too much, and I said that you know if you have a porn addiction if the guy has soft hands.
I heard that. Don't think I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I did.
Yes, you said it into the mic.
All right,
like
so
it when
I
you
just
guys
think
have
that
soft hands.
trust is at the core of this, and also knowing sort of what to expect from each other and what's reasonable to expect within a relationship. Montana.
But it's not okay that he lied about it because I feel like even at a teenage age, no matter what, you should be able to tell the truth about that if you're in a relationship with somebody. Because unless you're in a super distant relationship where you don't talk about things, which is not a relationship, then you should be able to talk about things. And porn shouldn't be embarrassing. It just
I
shouldn't.
saw this one movie, and I
Uh-huh.
only saw this one scene, and then I turned to something else. But I saw this one scene in this one movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
and this
definitely.
girl was saying to this guy, like, "Why do guys lie?" And the boy said, "Because we don't want you to leave us." And I was like, "Wow, that's
I
a
think
really."
I've seen that or
Oh,
heard
great-
that's
that.
cute.
I
Wait,
don't
why
know.
didn't you finish that movie?
I don't remember. I mean, probably Survivor was on. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Survivor.
Or a Hugh Grant movie. I don't know.
Gotta
But-
watch Naked
but
and Afraid.
I thought that was a very
I
wise,
love Naked and Afraid.
tangential.
It's
I
not
love.
porn. It's just a
I know,
Survivor
but
show.
that-
but they
That's a
do show the
tangent.
butts.
I don't want tangents. Let's stick to the point. I felt like that was a true statement that a lot of times the reason, not just guys, but people lie is they're afraid that if they tell the truth, somebody will leave them. And that's at the core of why a lot of people lie. Aaron.
He lied because you're being unreasonable and the consequences were dire. That's the only thing.
She's not being 100% unreasonable. I mean, he lied, right? And she has they agreed, or like, what was it? Like he said he
Like,
wasn't
I'm
going
not
to
like
do that.
other
He's not
guys.
like other
He made a
guys.
promise
he
he couldn't-
promised he wasn't, okay? Like,
He made a promise he couldn't possibly keep.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, watch Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Everybody should
I'm
watch
out.
Seinfeld.
I started watching Seinfeld,
Nikki.
actually.
But like, it sounds like she would have freaked out even if he hadn't have lied.
Yeah.
I think
There's
so.
You
a
can't
couple
blame,
lines
you
there
can't
devoted
say
to-
she's being unreasonable for the way that she feels. So,
But she is being unreasonable.
for
By definition, emotions are on most occasions unreasonable.
unreasonable by checking his phone. That's
No,
not
but
showing
by
trust.
definition, most
They're
emotions are
illogical.
Jakey is
unreasonable.
half
So-
Vulcan.
Emotions.
Nikki.
I think she would have freaked out anyway.
I do. I think she has a kind of reactionary personality that she expects a certain, she expects to have control over the relationship, and she expects certain behaviors and to be able to demand them just by the mere fact that she thinks she has a right to pick up his phone and
No.
go through it. She doesn't own him,
No.
right?
No. And he's not a
And
pornography.
that's what Nikki's picking up on.
no,
Andre.
no, Greek.
Andre.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think she should just like learn a little bit what relationships are really like, because it's a two-person thing, right? And you have to be like open with each other and see like what your strengths and weaknesses or whatever are. You can't expect to just have it be your ideal relationship and have it expect to be like controlled definitely in the palm of your hand. Like that's unreal.
I think
And
this is
kinda
a
creepy.
bright guy who knows how to erase his history.
Yeah, good for him.
That's the other thing.
Okay.
That was
Incognito.
that's the worst part
Everyone
for
knows
me.
you got to go into incognito.
Yeah.
Aaron.
That's true. So, all right. I'm just gonna say he wouldn't have said that I'm not like other guys. I don't watch this stuff if she hadn't before they got together said you're not gonna do this while we're together,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right. In other words, before they got together, she asked him this, and therefore this whole thing is predicated on him not watching porn. from the start.
Which
from
is probably one of a billion rules that she
right,
has for you.
exactly. So from the start is my
We love
point.
you.
From the start is my point is that she's being unreasonable if she thinks that any guy is going to. There will be some, very few, who would agree to this, but to think that any guy, including this random guy that she's dating now, who she shouldn't be dating, but for another reason, right?
Got it.
But
you keep bringing that up. Nobody knows it, and it has nothing to do with this exact question.
I know,
So
but
let's
if she-
pretend you don't know that.
I'm only saying that because I hope she's listening. That's the only reason I'm saying it.
All right.
Yeah. So, my point is, from the beginning, she was making a generally unreasonable request of him, with the options being we don't date or we date. He liked her. He said, "You know what? Fine. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try it." And I'm sure he actually meant it at the time, but it's not a promise he should have made.
Right, but Aaron, let's stick to her expectations and why she may have them. She is fearful that looking at porn makes him a Greek, which we all know. There's going to be debt problems.
Makes
and
so
a
she's
liar
afraid-
makes him whatever, a pornography addict, I think is what she meant, and a liar. Like, she has this built up in her mind as like, oh, if my boyfriend watches porn, then what will happen to me? Like, she is fearful of this.
Right.
And we're trying to say humans look at porn, and he's not a bad person
Right.
because he looks at porn. But she had a misconception.
Right, and that's
so let's just
and that's what I'm saying.
disabuse her of that. Go ahead.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that you're being unreasonable because you think that X leads to Y, but they have nothing to do with each other.
Because maybe in her history, her father had a porn. Like, maybe someone in her history where this was a problem, and she just didn't have a healthy attitude towards porn being normal. Montana.
Or just like I just know that like growing up, you kind of just are taught to think this, and then you meet guys, and then you realize they watch porn, and that's a thing. Like a lot of
Yeah,
girls
you're
have
right,
this
you're right.
huge taboo about how bad porn is, and
'Cause we're
like,
kind
oh
of
no, I can't watch
We're
that. That's
afraid of
awful.
it. Like,
Yeah.
when we're 12 and 13, we're like, oh, that's
Not everyone
blah,
is like
blah,
that.
blah. Well, me, maybe not you, Sam, but I was definitely afraid of like sexual images, at a young age. I did
It was
not
also
want to
a
see it.
different time. That makes you sound
I think
old.
every person is different too.
That is
I think
true.
Every,
Like, okay.
every
That's very
girl
true.
is different. Every
But I
boy is
still don't
different.
think that she's being unreasonable for having this, or she's being unreasonable for having these expectations. But I don't think that she's being unreasonable for having these beliefs about just not wanting unreasonable expectations. But she's not wrong for not wanting him to do that.
But I think she
She doesn't have a right. I'm just saying she doesn't have a
No, no,
right
no,
to
no,
say
no.
you can't do this because
No, I know what you mean, but I think she's coming from the right place. She doesn't want her boyfriend to cheat on her, but she doesn't know what
Yes.
porn is or
Exactly.
what it does.
No, and like the main point is like, does this make my boyfriend a pervert? No,
no, I don't know.
Probably not. We don't know him.
probably not. There
Unless he's
are
got like bound to
whatever-
go wow
however
wow
you
as
wanna
his
define
ringtone. I think that you're good.
perversion.
Right.
That's
Or he's
probably
got, like, satin sheets or something. You're good.
it's probably look upable to find what constitutes a perversion, but all normal sexual human males and lots of women look at porn and they're in healthy relationships. So we just want to kind of correct your thinking on it. It's not such a scary, ominous thing that's going to come into the night and drag your boyfriend out into a sewer where he's going to meet with prostitutes and give you a disease. That's not a thing that's going to happen just because he's got porn on his Safari history. That was a long sentence. I'm exhausted.
No.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, okay, can I compare it to like how like in the 30s everybody freaked out about weed because of this whole like political thing, but anyway, they made Reefer Madness where the kid puffs once and then he like dies or something
yeah.
awful. That's like, we look back at that now and are like, oh, that's stupid and unreasonable, but back then that's what they thought. This is what this girl is in the 30s of thinking that weed kills babies, basically.
Well, we talked about countries around the world having to do with menstruation, having to do with sexual
Anything.
anything.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Different countries have
females.
different, and America's kind of like going through a transitional. We're not the French, and we're not there yet. Where we don't
Or the
have prostitutes in windows, and
Wait, do
What-
they actually?
no, not in France, but in
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yeah.
Amsterdam,
So
yeah, the
we're
red light
kind of in the
district.
middle.
No, they got one
we're a
in
little
France
bit
too. It's
puritanical, but we're kind of opening up a little bit.
A
So
little bit.
maybe this girl's just still of the mindset that, something that's overly sexualized could be corrupting of my family life. And there's always going to be a push-pull between what men want and what women want. Because women want things wholesome so they can raise babies, and men want things sexual because that's just the way men are. And I know you're going to say women too, but I still think that men and women are different. Does anyone have any closing thoughts? Oh, Jake.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Men and women can be the same. Not every man and woman is the same.
I like sweeping generalities.
No, but they're
But also,
my
like,
sweeping
okay,
my sweeping generality is that all sweeping generalities are bad.
Jake is very PC, so
okay, but also like different points in life. Like some
Yeah.
women want like babies at
and that's
they're
totally
older or
okay.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all totally okay.
Believe what you want to believe, love what you want to love, and everything be good.
And no one gets to search through your phone. Not,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
every
so,
day,
yeah.
all day, every day,
Live
let
and
you
let
be.
live, right? All right, so you guys are awesome. Thanks for being with us for Our Place Out Loud. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Toodles.
That wasn't politically correct. That was.
I've been out there wandering. I've been in here wondering, hoping, reaching, or wishing I could find my way. Then I found our place where we can dream and share it. Our place, you'll find a friend to carry. I may look a little hazy and I may feel a little crazy. I'm sifting through confusion and I'm searching for solutions, and I know I'm answer bound, 'cause I found our place where we can dream and share it. Our place, you'll find a friend to carry. Hear you, heal you, steer you back to kindness. Your soul may be in tatters. You'll learn what really matters. Our place, where we can dream and share it. Our place, you'll find a friend to care and hear you, heal you, steer you back to kindness. Your soul may be in tatters. You'll learn what really matters. Our place, where we can dream and share it. Our place, you'll find a friend to care it. Our place, where we can dream and share it. Our place, you'll find a friend to care it. Hear you, heal you, steer you back to kindness. Your soul may be in tatters. You'll learn what really matters. Our place, where we can dream and share it. Our place, you'll find a friend to care it. Our place, you're not alone at our place. I've been out there wandering. I've been in